Hello and welcome to the fourth Olympus iSpeed Labs. My name's Chris Robinson and today I'd like to show you how to connect and control your iSpeed 3 camera from a PC or laptop. Most of our customers find that the CDU is ideal for their needs because it provides an instant and high resolution feedback of what the camera's doing. However, there are times that you can't be near your camera while recording. For example, if you're in a high risk area, such as a car crash test lab or a ballistics range. Under those circumstances, you want to be the other side of an Ethernet cable. And this is where the Olympus software is absolutely ideal for your needs. There are three types of software. There's Olympus Control, which is supplied with the camera. There's Control Pro, which is a cost upgrade. And there's the free viewer software, which you can download from the Olympus website and is very useful if you want to give it to your customers so that they can see the video that you've recorded. Before I set the camera up, I'd just like to talk about Ethernet addressing. Every item that's connected to an Ethernet network must have an address, a bit like a house must have an address. The address is made of 4 numbers. The rules of Ethernet are that you can only talk to people who live on your street. So imagine the first number is country, then it's town, then it's street. Those 3 numbers must all be the same for devices on the same network, but the last number is house number. That has to be different. So before I actually start and make a recording, let me show you how to check and set up the IP addressing on your camera and your laptop. To adjust the IP address of the camera, I'll press the Setup button, then Config, and then Ethernet. These are the Ethernet controls. I want to look at the IP address. And here you can see the IP address of the camera. If I want to change it, I can simply type in a new address. This is the default address that's supplied with the camera, and that's perfect for my needs, so I can just back out of that screen here to the home screen. To adjust the IP address of the laptop, I'll click on Start, Settings, Control Panel, and then I'll open Network Connections. I'll open this local area connection and do Properties. I'm interested in the TCP IP address, so I'll click on that and do Properties. And you may find that your laptop is configured like this. It will ask the network to provide it with an IP address. We don't want that for this application, so we ask it to have a static IP address. The address I'm going to use is almost the same as the camera, but I'm going to change the last number. The camera was 54, I'm going to choose 55. I click here to get the subnet mask and I click OK. I can close this window and I can close this window. Some IT departments might not like you changing your IP address, so you may want to ask them to come and assist you. We also recommend that you turn off the Windows firewall because that can interfere with the signals that flow between the camera and the laptop. Again, your IT department may have rules about this, so you might like to ask them to come and help. Okay, the next thing for me to do is connect the camera. So I'll take the cable and insert it into the camera. Now this cable is a crossover cable. If you're using a hub or a switch, you may want to use a straight through cable, but since I'm connecting directly to the laptop, I'm using this crossover cable. I've now connected the camera to the laptop. All I have to do is start the software. So to start the software, I'm going to click on the icon. I'll ignore that screen because it's reminding me that I have Control and not Control Pro. The first thing you'll notice is that there are 4 tabs at the top: the Acquire tab, Archive Browser, Strip View and Working View. I'm going to start by acquiring video, so I shall use the Acquire tab and I'll click on the Add Camera button. It offers me an IP address, and this is the default address of the camera when it comes from the factory. And if you remember, I left the camera set to that address, so I can merely click OK and we'll connect to the camera. On the CDU here, you'll notice that there's a connected to Ethernet icon displayed. So, on the laptop, we have a live image from the camera, we have a small image on the left, and we have a larger working image in the center of the screen. At the bottom of the screen are all the controls that I would normally have on the CDU. Today, I merely want to adjust the speed control, and I'm going to run at 2000 frames a second, so I shall simply click on that. It's now gone dark because I'm going at a much faster frame rate, so could we have some lights please? Thank you. So I'm now going to press record. I'm going to grab my trigger switch and create a high-speed event in 3, 2, 1, now. Okay. So the camera has captured the event and it's transferred a series of thumbnails that look now like a film strip into the laptop. This is now moved automatically to the strip view, and I can interact with the video in terms of time. So I'm going to zoom in to where the event occurred by clicking and dragging, and I'll press the enter key to execute the zoom function. I can do that again to get a more accurate position. Once again, I'll press the enter key. Okay, I'm happy with this. It's just under 100 frames, so I'll press the space bar to set the range of the camera to the selection I've just made. Now, in the laptop, I've got thumbnail images, so they're low resolution for quick transfer, but I want to work with high resolution images. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to say transfer selected frames. The laptop will now ask the camera to give it all the frames that are represented here, and I can now double click on the first one to enter the working view. Let's just play through the video that we've captured. Okay, there we are. So you can see now in the working view there's a whole load of controls. I can zoom in, I can pan around, I can set to native resolution, or I can fill the screen. I can rewind to the beginning, I can set loop play on, and let the software play through the event repeatedly. So having got the event and looked at it, I'd now like to save it. So I can click on the save icon. It pops up the usual kind of dialog box. It offers me a series of options. I can save the entire video or just the range. I can transfer JPEG encoded AVIs, which is what I'm going to do today, or I can transfer Bayer frames if I wish to. I'll just click on the save button. The laptop goes away, makes the save, comes back to the strip view to prove that I saved it. So today, I've introduced you to the Olympus iSpeed control software. We've connected a laptop to a camera, we've made a recording, we've played it, and we've saved it. Thank you very much indeed for watching, and please, why don't you join me on the next iSpeed Labs?